Israel launched a massive wave of attacks inside Iran to decapitate the regime and take away their command and control and go after the nuclear program. Why? Earlier in the day on Wednesday, the International Atomic Energy Agency found that Iran was not in compliance with weapons inspection and reporting of where their nuclear program was. The estimates were that Israeli intelligence said they had enough active weaponized radioactive material to put together at least 9 atomic weapons. And it's not that they just had the capacity. They were actually in the assembly stage of putting together the nuclear weapons. They already had the cones. They had the detonators. They were assembling the bombs as we speak. And Israel said, we cannot wait another moment. And they didn't. The president of the United States, Donald Trump, came out and was on X this morning saying, I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest of words to just do it, but no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they just couldn't get it done. I told them it would be much worse than anything they know, anticipated, or were told, that the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world, by far, and that Israel has a lot of it, with much more to come, and they know how to use it. Certain Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They are all dead now, and it will only get worse. There has already been great death and destruction, but there is still time to make this slaughter, with the next planned attacks already being planned, being more brutal. There's a chance to make this come to an end. Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. No more death, no more destruction. Just do it before it's too late. God bless you all, Donald Trump. Followed up by a few moments later, 2 months ago, I gave Iran a 60-day ultimatum to make a deal. They should have done it. Today is day 61. I told them what to do, but they just couldn't get there. Now they have perhaps a second chance. Donald Trump hopped on the phone with Dana Bash of CNN earlier, and she said, well, are you still going to try to negotiate? And Donald Trump said, there's nobody left to negotiate with. They're all dead. And she said, killed by Israel? And Donald Trump said, well, they didn't die of COVID. That was quite fascinating. Let's hear what so we'll talk about the initial raid and how successful it was, better than anybody even could possibly imagine. But the breaking news just within the last 40 minutes is Iran was able to summon up and follow up a 100-drone return volley that went nowhere. All 100 drones were shot down, many of them over Saudi Arabia, by the way. But they followed it up with 2 different volleys of ballistic missiles by the dozens. There were Patriot batteries and Iron Dome batteries flying everywhere, and at least one, it looks like, at least one missile has gotten through. I want to give you the viewpoint of Trey Yinks at Fox News. If you're watching on the Salem News Channel, this was pretty wild to watch, prepping for the show half an hour ago. Let's play cut 1.
An indication, and I can see interceptors coming off from all directions. We don't know exactly how many missiles have been fired by the Iranians, but this is Israel's second largest city, a population of 300,000 people. And right now they are headed, and you're seeing an interception right there, up to the sky, Yaniv. You just stay with us. We just need to be calculated here. We're good here, and we are going to, okay, so right now what we are seeing, Sandra, is Israel's missile defense systems, likely along with American systems, working to intercept incoming ballistic missile fire. This is the attack that the Israeli army warned about. We spoke with officials before we started this live report, and they said they actually had to cut short a statement by Israel's top spokesman because they got some information that this attack was about to be underway. These sirens that you hear off in the distance, again, are used to warn the population to get into shelters. And we're just going to wait and see what information we can gather about this. And we have a statement right now, Sandra, from the IDF, and I'm just going to read it to you in real time. A short while ago, sirens sounded in several areas across Israel following the identification of missiles from Iran toward the state of Israel. The public is asked to follow the instructions of the Home Front Command. At this time, the Israeli Air Force is operating to intercept and strike where necessary to eliminate the threat. It's essential to continue following the instructions of the Home Front Command. And so, again, the Israelis are operating in real time not only to strike the missile launching positions inside of Iran, but also to shoot down any of that fire. And they will use the defense systems on the ground, but also fighter jets if there are any sort of drones that are flying toward Israel to try to distract the air defense systems. But it gives you a sense. Okay, and I'm going to have my cameraman go back to the skyline here, and you're going to see.
We're watching on the Salem News Channel. Here's where it got really hairy.
The Iranians are targeting major population centers in Israel, again, in response to the operation overnight that took out a number of IRGC officials. And we can see flashes in the skies over Tel Aviv. Just pull out of this shot here a little bit, Yaniv, and I'm just going to talk to my cameraman while we're talking here. So there are some interceptors. Okay, there are interceptors coming in off the sea, and you're going to see some in the distant skyline. There's a missile, and it is headed down. So some of this I can already see, John and Sandra, is not being intercepted. We just saw one of the missiles. Okay, and there's an interception right over Tel Aviv. Pull out here, Yaniv, and you're going to see the trail. Just listen here. Okay, this is some
Imagine
short-range
this being
systems.
in your city
Stay
where you're
here,
living.
Yaniv. Pull out a little bit. Okay, there's just a massive amount of fire coming to Tel Aviv right now. Yaniv, get ready to pull it off the stick. Get off the sticks. All right, let's go. Time to go. Okay.
And if you're watching on the Salem News Channel, that is where it looks like at least one of the ballistic missiles got through. Now, we don't know. We don't have confirmation that it was a direct strike with hundreds of missiles and Patriot batteries that are converging on them, and there's debris and intercepts going on everywhere. It could be shrapnel from one of it, or several of them that caused some of the damage. The Israelis are reporting that their first responders are responding to at least 7 different locations all throughout Israel to see if there is any collateral damage or personnel damage, damage to people. Most people are underground in shelters, as they should be. But the war is on, and the war is going to continue until Iran is no longer a threat. And make no mistake, the U.S. is taking a side in this, and they're taking the right side. At least most people in the U.S. are.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.